Steve is utterly amazing. Now, Steve is a sought after contractor. Guys, you probably remember him from a show on HGTV, Flip or Flop, right? And so at this point in time, he is just a savvy businessman, and not just a savvy businessman. He's also an author, and we're going to talk to Steve, about building and designing houses, but we're also going to talk about his penmanship. So guys, hang in there, and we're going to bring Steve to the fold. I want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of get rocking and rolling. And we're going to bring Steve out, and we are going to talk to him because he is utterly amazing. Not just because he is one of HGTV's Flip or Flop finest, but because he is a spectacular businessman who is also an author. And we're going to talk about all of that this evening. And I don't want to leave this magnificent gentleman waiting. So let's see here. So Steve, we are ready to right here so we can really have an amazing time.
Hello?
Hello there.
Hey.
I can't see your beautiful face.
You can't see me. Why not?
I don't know. There's something blocking your camera.
I don't know what that would be. What would that be? Let's see.
I think the camera is flipped around. I see what's on the other side.
Let me see here. Let me look. Why can't I? Oh, flip it around. Oh, damn.
There you
got me in my Poindexter's on, girl. What's up?
Listen, see, I'm so excited. I'm excited. And see, I'm not just excited because you're a magnificent builder and designer. I'm not excited about that. You know what I'm most excited about?
What's up?
I'm excited about your penmanship.
My penmanship?
Yes. I'm excited about talking about
I don't
the
know.
books.
That's kind of scary.
We have to talk about the books. But first and foremost,
okay,
yes.
all right. I thought you meant like me, like natural. I'm like, oh damn, I don't know about all that, but all right.
Oh my goodness. Well, first and foremost, welcome to It's Consulting Time. It is amazing to virtually meet you and host you for a few minutes to really show the world who Steve is and what Steve has been up to. So first and foremost, just introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm a nobody. I'm a janitor, what I do, but no, my name is Steve Cederquist. I'm a self-made guy, just kind of what I do. I mean, I kind of came from I don't know how you describe it, like trash to triumph, you know what I mean? Just, kind of my life, was, a bad situation, and, it was kind of a culmination. I think it's just what all of us kind of go through, it's an identity thing. We kind of identify with, sorry, I'm still in my car. I apologize.
You're just fine. We're about authenticity over here. So you are just fine.
Cool. So no, I mean, I think, when everything kind of went south for me, like, if you read the book, I think things turned around, in 94 when I was able to, get my life back and kind of get out of jail and get my life turned around and stuff like that. Prior to that, Hollywood, was doing all the fun things with Paramount Pictures and, Cannell Productions and, I don't know, Riptide and all the other shows I was doing with Michael J. Fox and everything else we were doing. It was kind of, I don't know, life was different, and then everything happened and I was, here's the deal. Here's how it kind of goes. It's like, I kind of felt like, when I was going through what I was going through and life changed, you know what I mean? You understand how life changes?
I do. Understood.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, I went from being in Hollywood as a younger child, a younger adult, to getting involved in all that nonsense with the drugs and the
Understood.
crazy stuff going on, you know, to kind of, you know, reckoning with all that and, you know, straightening it up and getting things back in order, doing what I had to do for my crimes and, you know, and make things right. But
Let me say this.
yeah, go
And
ahead,
guys, everybody under the sound of my voice, I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to pause, and I want you to take just 10 seconds, and I want you to reflect. And the reason I want you guys under the sound of our voices to reflect is because all of us have been through trials and tribulations. And the beauty is when you come out on the other side. And so, Steve, even in you speaking about the trials and tribulations, you know, you are an amazing individual. People love you, and people love you because you loved you enough to say enough is enough, no matter how you had to get to that point. Steve, you have done immaculate. And so we salute you for that. And I'm just so grateful that you know, your second book, Got Out Alive, which is a continuation of the first book. And you're telling your story. You're transparent. You're authentic. And I'm sorry, you're up here to me, but you're so humble. And you still reach back and touch the people who probably thought they could never be helped. So Steve, salute to you.
You know what, I'm not looking for anything other than, you know, I think that we're all here for a reason and a purpose. You know, I remember when I did the movie, you know, Reason, and I remember I signed on to it.
Absolutely.
You know, we actually won a bunch of awards. We did really well with that movie. And what I loved about that movie and about the script and about that was about everything happens for a reason and a purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think that I felt what I really connected with that movie, you know, and I played a chef in it. But what I really liked about it was the fact that, you know, it's true. Everything that we all go through happens for a reason and purpose. But I think that what I like about it the most is, like, we all have that Garden of Gethsemane defining moment in our lives. We could take the two paths, you know what I mean? We could take the two paths, either left or right, you know, to do what's right. And I think that what I found that what I really enjoy and what I really like was the fact that, you know, it's more about how you overcome from obstacles and situations in your life and what you do about it, though, to help mankind. And I think that what I've found in, you know, here's the deal. When I wrote the book, you know, they asked me, they said, well, do you want to make money on the book? And I said, you know, that's not my main objective. My main objective is to help one person. And I had one gentleman reach out to me, and he told me, he said, you know what, dude, I put a gun to my head, and I was going to pull the trigger, but I heard you speak, obviously, in another interview, and it made me stop and be like, oh, damn, he's just like me. He has been there and done some stuff, and I want to see what I can do.
That's it.
Well, that's what we're supposed
to
do. You are supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do it. And what I think we all kind of forget about, because we all get so busy, you know, we all just get so wrapped in our own bullshit. Sorry. You know,
oh no, you are free. You are free. You are free. Absolutely.
Okay, so we all get wrapped in our own BS, and I think that, you know, the bottom line is, you know, it's just like, you know, okay, last week I was coming into Home Depot, and this dude is running out with a bunch of tools, and I tripped his ass. I was like, bam! He all spread out. Blah! You know, he got, why'd you do that? I said, man, because you're making some wrong decisions, brother. He says, what do you mean? I said, dude, you don't get it. What you're doing is not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting others around you, because you're stealing. And why are you stealing? I mean, like, why do you feel the need to steal? I mean, like, why are you doing what you're doing? I used to be you, dude. I was a horrible person. And I'm like, but I found that, doing the right things and being in the service of others, it's the right thing to do. And it's not the right thing. I did kind of feel bad for his little skin mark on his chin. And his
No,
knees.
that was the consequence of his action.
Payback's a bitch, you know what I mean? But here's the bottom line. And I told him, I said, hey, dude, I pay for your mistakes. And I said, because when I go in the store now, when I used to buy, like, a simple, I mean, I've got stuff here I can show you. I'm in one of my estimate cars right now. And, when I go pay a caulking gun that I used to pay $4 for, now it's $20. I'm just like, dude, that's because of you. And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, because the stores have to make up for that. And they do. And so we had a good talk, dude, and he left everything there, walked away, and said, man, I feel bad, man, for what I've done. I said, dude, you don't feel bad to me. It's just you gotta look at yourself as a human being, and be like, what's up? Here's the bottom line. You and I are no better. You and I are no better than the guy that's suffering in front of the liquor store, who's begging for money or begging for nothing. We're no better. We are no better whatsoever. None of us are.
That's right.
I have compassion for that person, and I will sit there and talk to that person. I'll never give them money because I know what they're going to do.
There you go.
But I will just give them encouragement. And I said, if you're hungry or if you're thirsty, other than alcohol or whatever, you want a water, you want a sandwich, you want me to get you something, I'll do whatever. It happened to me today, running in the Starbucks. This guy. Oh boy, came up to me, rapping, hey, running his game on me.
I already know.
What you want, dude? What do you want? And he said, well, I want money. I said, well, I ain't going to give you money. I'm going to Starbucks. I'll give you a coffee if you sit down and talk to me for 10 minutes afterwards.
Yes.
He refused. I'm like, all right, you're not ready.
I believe it. Trust me, it's almost like it. And guys, if you're under the sound of our voices, make sure that you drop us a 100 or a fire or a flame, just to let us know that you're not just listening, you're really hearing and understanding what we're saying today, because this whole conversation has been about purpose. Steve, it's so interesting that you have come to sit with me this evening, and this has been my sermon for the past month. I have been talking about purpose. I have been talking about the entertainment industry and talking about the fact that we have to operate in the spirit of purpose and not popularity. I understand what the powers that be want. I understand the powers that be want numbers. But there comes a day when your number is going to be called, and all of these numbers that are out here aren't going to matter, because all of us have what? A 6x6 waiting on us.
No, they do. And here's the deal. Like, I'm in development right now of a new show, and it's housing the homeless. And let me just break this down. And what doesn't work is I've been this guy. I mean, like, I go out with the homeless task force in the city of Huntington Beach. I've gone out with the city of homeless task force in other areas, and I've been developing this show for 2 years. And I'm telling you, I went out during COVID. And what does not work is taking someone in their disease and in their nonsense and saying, oh, yeah, here, let me just put you right here. Yeah, you're good. We're not dealing with the root of the problem. The root of the problem is, here's the deal, and you can pass this on to Governor Newsom when I meet with him, because let me tell you how it's going to go down. First of all, we can't just pick up people off the street and house them, because that's not going to work. We need to do the root issues with these people are, first of all, addiction. And addiction can go with drugs, alcohol, and then we have mental abuse. Yeah. Mental illness. And what's happening is, if we don't address those issues, I mean, we got state hospitals here in the state of California that are 3/4 closed. Why is that? And that's the question I'm going to ask the governor when I sit in front of him here in a couple of weeks. And I want to know, and I've got that invitation, and I want to know why. I want to know why they're closed. Why are they closed? Because we're not doing a service to our people. Because here's the problem. If we don't, I remember when I got arrested with 2 guns. I had a gun on my shoulder, like right here, a shotgun, sawed-off shotgun, and I had a 38 right here next to me on my side. And when the cops arrested me, it was like a standoff. It was literally like a Mexican standoff. Like they were going to shoot me, I was going to shoot them. I'm like, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. At the moment of clarity.
Absolutely.
So, what I will say is taking me out of that environment, getting me, even though I detoxed on the county jail floor, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'll tell you why. And I preach this today to people that go out and try to help homeless, and I'm like, no. Here's how it's going to go down. You cannot help them in the state they're in. You need to offer them the help. The state needs to intervene and say, look, we're going to help you with drugs or alcohol, or we're going to help you with the mental illness that you have going on. And I think that's the first step we need to help with the homeless population around the country, not just in California.
So true. Steve, it's so interesting. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Virginia. So, of course, I live in Atlanta now, but I'm from Virginia, born and raised all my life. And some years ago, I'm going to say about between 5 and 7 years ago, we had a senator, Cree Deeds.
Okay.
And his son, I think you probably heard the story. And his son, if I'm not mistaken, attempted to kill, he committed suicide, but I think he shot his father or someone else in the process. Well, long story short, the Commonwealth of Virginia then decided that they needed to enact more legislation for mental health. Now, mind, during that time, I was working in the criminal justice system. I'm working with incarcerated persons who need rehabilitation, not incarceration. So I say that to say, realistically, the rich get richer, the poor get prison. And I think we have to really say that our political figures invest in these prisons.
Oh, absolutely. I think, here's the long and short of it. I mean, if you were to ask me how we could curb the homeless population in the United States right now, would be to let's invest in, here's what doesn't work. Okay, so some local cities, I won't mention them because I work with them, and I tell them they're all full of, you know what?
Understood.
They like, oh, we're just going to pull them off the street because, the public wants them off the street. We're going to put them in hotels. And I'm like, damn, you're just going to have a bunch of drug dealers living and people with mental illness, in a melting pot in a location with a roof on it. That doesn't work. What we need to do is we need to identify these people. We need to get the state's help. We need to get the ACLU off our ass, who put a lot of roadblocks in this. ACLU will love you, don't get me wrong, but here's the bottom line. You guys need to understand and identify that these people need help. And when we do that, we're only trying to help them. We're not trying to take away their rights, take away their freedoms. We're not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we actually put forth the effort and put them in a system like just to help them. They can walk. Look, we're not locking them up, but if do you want help? Yeah, I do. Okay, awesome. Come on in. We're going to get you the help you need. And we bring them in. Yeah, we're not going to solve 100% of the homeless. We're going to solve 60, 70% of it, which is going to be a manageable. I go to downtown LA now, and literally, I feel like I drove down 6th and Hill a couple weeks ago. And I was in a car, and we pulled down. The driver we had pulled down the wrong street, and we got pulled over by an undercover PD. He come pulling up to us, and he said, he looks in the window, he sees us all, he goes, "Oh, well, you guys are white, you're okay." And I said, "Whoa, dude, what? Why is it got to be race, dude? Why you got to like white? What?" And I got mad, dude. I jumped out of the car. I'm like, dude, just because I'm white, don't mistake me for being not the right way. I go, dude, that's wrong what you're saying, dude, because here's the deal. It ain't a race problem. This is a human problem. We're all human, dude. We are all human beings in this world, and guess what? We all bleed. Dude, you cut my hand right now, guess what? We all bleed red. It don't matter about race, about religion, no bullshit. And so, and I kind of got on his ass. I'm like, dude, that's messed up. Why would you come at me like that? And he's like, well, and I'm like, dude, no, you're. It was so disheartening because the police, like in LA and stuff, they're identifying it more on a race basis. And I'm like, dude, you're missing
It's
it.
everywhere. It's everywhere. And Steve,
It's stupid. It's just like,
you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. And I think that, see, I think that the thing about it is you have taken philanthropy to a whole new level. Let's just call it what it is. What you did when you made that statement, you took a stand that our presidents don't even take. And I think it speaks to your level of empathy, your level of multicultural competence. So, because let's just be real, there's a difference between cultural competence and multicultural competence.
Yeah, 100%.
So Steve, you definitely, you're set apart. But the other thing about it, you are a part of that great family. And I think because you are a part of that great family that you and I understand, we understand that because we are brothers and sisters in one body, that we have a responsibility to protect one another.
Well, I always tell my friends, it's funny because like I always say, like, that God's laughing at us up there. You're just like, oh God, if you're understanding, however you want to understand him.
Yep.
And I was like, he's got to be able to laugh and go, look at these motherfuckers. They're so stupid. Like it's not about like race, religion. We got all this, all roads lead to the same, and it's like the bottom line is we are all supposed to help. The legacy that we leave, this is a little test to me. It's like I talked to one of my spiritual people the other day, and we were talking about it. And they go, how do you view it? I said, you know what? I look at this like this is all a test. We either pass or fail. It's going to be like, dude, you fail or you pass. Because I think that what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to leave this world a better place than we came into it. You know what I mean? And like I'm going to be 63 here in a couple months, and I'm thinking like all my kids are on board. No, I am, and it's all good. I'm cool in my age. It's been denied by many of my friends, growing old. And I look at it like, you know what? We're here for a reason and a purpose, and we better get busy because we don't know how much time we have. I got to spend some time with Pitbull a few months ago. Pitbull and I are friends. And, I love him, dude. He's legit. And you know what I like about him? And he is just like, he's got such an attitude like all of it, like you and I, he wants to help. He wants to be part of a solution, not part of the ongoing problem. And I just think we all need to be consciously aware of what's going on in this world. We need to be consciously aware and love our friends, love our neighbors, love people, just love people. We got so much violence and so much nonsense going on that we just need to start adopting some more love and having care and compassion for other people. And with that being said, we need to inform our political officials like, hey bro, check it out, or whoever, like, look, we want you to be part of the solution as well, and we need your help. We don't need you to go political on us and start a bunch of nonsense BS, but we want you to help us create legislation that's going to work. I had met with Karen Bass. And I met with Rick Caruso, and I met with Eric Garcetti before I met with Eric Garcetti literally before the lockdown, and him and I were on a good path. I had met with several mayors. I remember, just set the scene here. I'm sitting in the mayor's office in the city of San Bernardino after I drove around the city for 2 days, and I'm looking at this huge building next to the abandoned Carousel Mall. It's a 6-story old hotel. And I look over and I go, homie, what's up with the hotel? And he goes, oh, that's closed down. And I'm like, okay, why is it closed down? He says, well, it's owned by a sheik and he's in Dubai. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, take that motherfucker. Take it by eminent domain and make it a recovery center. I mean, what's up?
They've forgotten about eminent domain. I
eminent
swear.
Domain. Take it. take it. I mean, because here's the deal. Because I looked at that hotel. It was like a 6-story hotel, and I thought, well, you could take that hotel and make it like the steps of getting your life better.
Yes.
First step is you come in. You come in, go to intake. Well, you've gone past that now. Now you're going to floor 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 4, 5, and 6 are temporary housing. Maybe that's what you do. And like, I think it's important that we need to stay on our political elected officials. They work for us. We don't work for them.
And local and state. Guys, Steve, like Steve, I kid you, Steve, you are dropping so many gems. Guys, if you don't know who Steve Cederquist is, you need to go, not right now, but go Google him. And really, I need you to check out his books. His second book, now, Steve, I want to make sure I'm right. The second book comes out this summer.
Yep, God Out of Life.
Okay.
Different format. We're going a different format on that.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. When I wrote the book, the first book was written like a workbook help. And then I asked everybody, I really got everybody's opinion. I'm like, hey, dude, what do you guys really think of the book? And they're like, well, we liked it, but we'd like it to be more in story form. I'm like, all right, cool. So this book is more based on like a continuation and more like, you know, kind of like real world, but it kind of hits on the areas that you and I are talking about right now. About, here's the deal. You, me, because I'm going to hold you. You're girl. Look, you got me right now? You and I.
Oh, we are here. Trust me, we're on the same path.
Same page. But I'm going to hold you to it, because here's the deal. When I come to Atlanta, which I'm going to come see you, we're going to like, we're going to like be like, what's up? Like to officials. Be like,
I'm with it.
What's going on? We're doing this here in LA. I got a show. My show is literally going to be, we're housing. Now, the show that we're doing, now we're housing already. These are transition homeless people. They're not, because I told you what doesn't work.
Understood.
These are families.
Understood. Yep.
And homeless vets and homeless seniors that are already in temporary housing, that are already been dealing with stuff, already kind of getting themselves back in the workforce, already appreciating, you know, like a second chance in life.
Absolutely.
And that's how the community's going to work. And I'm telling you, they're all going to, you know, there's going to be no counselors there. Everybody's going to police themselves. It's not going to be. But here's the deal. When you create a community, people are going to be like, no, hey, well, what's up? You know, they're going to be like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Holding
and they're going to,
each other accountable.
We're going to hold each other accountable.
That's
what's going to happen. I'm telling you, this concept is going to reach, it's going to change the world. So I'm super stoked on everything. And I'm telling you, I'm getting to pick who I'm going to air this with. This is like, I'm getting so much interest from so many people.
But you know, Steve, I have to say to you, I have to say this to you. And guys, we're gonna start to wind up. But this is important. This conversation is important, and it can't stop here. Steve, I'm gonna have you back, and I'm gonna have you back on my larger platform where we actually hit the LinkedIn crowd, the YouTube crowd, and the Facebook crowd, because this conversation is necessary. But I'm gonna say this to you. You know, when I was in Virginia, I served as what was called a comprehensive services director. And so in that position, I managed programs for juvenile justice, Department of Education, Department of Social Services, and the Community Services Board. Our Community Services Board were those mental health services support agencies. Do you know that the majority of the issues stem because once again, we're taking people from an environment, throwing them somewhere. They don't know what to do and how to respond because they did not have the tools to sustain themselves. Steve, you're doing the right thing. You're doing an amazing thing. And I am on your team. You don't have to come looking for me. I'm going to come looking for you. I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here for all of it. Whatever we can do on this side to support you, believe me, because I have been an activist since the age of 7. So I don't mind talking to the politicians and letting them know tactfully and gracefully what the needs are. Absolutely.
I may call you when I go meet Newsom, because here's the deal. I've got some great advocates with me right now. I'm working with Homemade out of Orange County here in California. Okay. And I'm telling you, we're on fire. I mean, this is a movement that's going to change the world, because here's the deal. We're homemade all across the country. But Homemade Orange County, this is the home. We're going to make a change. And what we're going to do with this change is, I'm not selling this show. This is not about selling the show and making millions of dollars. I don't care if I make a effing nickel on this. What I care about is we're going to take this model, and it's going to go across the country. And you know what?
Yes.
When they bury me in the ground, when I say my last goodbyes, when I don't take my final rose, here's my deal. I want people to say, you know what? He made a difference. And people like you are going to pick it up and be like, hey, the job's not done.
It's not done.
We're going to make this a really better place. That's it. And we're also, one thing we're doing in the show is we're helping something else that's very near and dear to my heart is homeless animals. Homeless animals are in kill shelters. I have a real heart for animals. I love animals. I truly love animals, just like I love people. Sometimes I love them more than people, because it's just like, how do I say it? With an animal, with a dog, or like I got my first dog a few years ago, and she just passed. But let me tell you something. It was like there was no judgment. She just loved me no matter what. And I think that I think that we can inject animals into this, and I think that's the missing link. I really truly feel that animals are a connection to us that people need to have, because they're non-judgmental. They just want to be loved, just like us. And I think we mix the two together, and I think we're going to have a real positive outcome, and we are going to change the world. And now that you've heard my story, now I'm holding you to it.
Yeah, listen, I was already on the journey.
Okay.
I was born for this journey. Steve, I'm trying to tell you, I was born to aged parents. I was born to parents who, realistically, the doctor said I shouldn't be here. My mother was 46 and my father was 56 when they bore me into this world. I was born for this. I was raised on respect, resilience, and service to others. And because of that, there was a reason why I bypassed Steve Cederquist, but I came back and I said, I need to talk to him. Because I could see it. I went by and I said, wait a minute, let me go back. And I went back, and that's when I saw the purpose. Because, see, we scroll, right? We scroll.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I went back.
Well, here's the deal. Nothing, and I've learned this a long time ago, nothing is by accident. Everything happens for a reason and purpose.
That part.
Everything. Remember that. Every moment,
yep.
Everything that happens is all for a reason and purpose. You got to look at it and go, all right, what was that about?
Yep.
So, no, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you. Please, let's continue the conversation.